Aw. And here we go. You guys, welcome to our Diesel Nation call. It is May 15th, day after Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all our Diesel Nation moms. You guys, I love you. I honor you. Thank you for all your hard work, not only for our team, but for your families as well. Tonight is a super special call for us. My friend Brad Bizjack will be sharing so much inspiration with us. Tonight is all about inspire, inspire, inspire. We're talking mindset, we're talking limiting beliefs, and we're gonna bust through all that junk tonight, right, Busy? He's muted. Yeah, he's nodding his head. Okay, and I'll share how Brad and I met a couple of years ago and why we are, dude and dudette, and we love doing this business together. But first, I do have some important announcements to make. Number one, I wanted to say we are so proud of all the Shift Shop test groupers from Diesel Nation. We are I think we might have 20 different coaches in the test group. You guys are rocking. Trust me, I know that the meal plan is tight and you guys are working hard. So you guys applaud them. When they post about Shift Shop, let's make sure we're commenting on their posts and keeping their morale up, because it is getting tougher and tougher, and especially next week is going to be really tough on week 3. So you guys, we're proud of you. Keep pushing strong. And of course, next week, 20 Diesel Nation coaches are heading to Orlando for Entre Leadership and our leadership retreat, and 5 of the coaches going are in the test group. So God bless you, being able to survive being at a seminar, getting your workouts in, and following the nutrition plan to a T, and hanging out with me and not wanting to drink alcohol. You guys, that is going to be a feat in and of itself, but I am pretty sure they are going to succeed. Those of you going to Summit, you know that this month it's crunch time for Diesel Nation, because we are inviting all of our team builders and above, team builder, team leader, organization leader, and executive leaders to our Diesel Nation Summit Luncheon. Now is the time to get moving towards that. The qualifications for that are posted in the Summit page. If not, it is in your COO. It is going to be off the chain. So just to go over the qualifications, if you are a team builder, you get automatically a ticket to attend. Plus, you have first dibs to purchase at a very low cost a ticket for a guest. That guest could be a spouse. It could be another coach on the team, a brand new coach on your team that's coming to Summit, whoever you'd like to bring to the luncheon. After that, we'll decide what we're going to do for any pending tickets that are left. I'm not even sure we'll have any, but if we do, we'll make sure to have some sort of qualification attached to those extra tickets. It's going to be attached to Success Club if we are going to go there. So make sure that you guys are gunning for Success Club in the month of May. I have to bring this up because I hate when it's after Summit and we're so excited about post-Summit and that high that we forget that leadership is right around the corner after Summit, and that is in November. And you guys know that qualifications are tight right after Summit for leadership. So those of you that are in that diamond to 5-star range that are gunning for leadership, it's gotta be on your radar already, okay? So make sure that you're looking at the FAQ so that you understand how and by when you need to qualify for leadership. We will get an image up in all the team pages, but also jot that down that you need to check that out, because it's got to be on yours and your team's radar if you want to go to Las Vegas and stay at the Aria and have an amazing leadership experience. And last, before I get to our guest speaker, if you don't know, make sure you know now that June 12th starts Sean Week. Get it? Shark Week. Get it? Anybody? Yes, Sean Week is starting on June 12th. It is a week of Sean T brand new workouts that they're currently filming right now. I'm hearing that the workouts are super awesome. So guess what I'm doing? Here's my strategy. my next challenge group will be a Shanti inspired challenge group. I will start posting about it after our big sneak peek on Wednesday. I don't want to get my audience confused. I always want one thing to be inviting to. Right now it's the sneak peek. After that, I will be inviting to my all Shanti challenge group that's going to kick off when? June 12th with Sean Week. And then after that, whoever's in this group gets to pick from a variety of Shanti programs to do, T25, Asylum, Insanity, whatever they want to do, it's going to be all Sean. That's my thinking on this. Hopefully you guys, might get inspired by that and do something similar. I know Carl is stressing to get people to do the 3-day refresh before Sean Week. Hey, that's a good opportunity to sell the All Access Kickstart, right? Am I right? Because we're all thinking like CEOs, we're all thinking like business people, and we're strategizing how to use all these amazing promotions to our advantage. Okay, enough of me. You guys are always sick of hearing me speak. I'm going to turn it over to my friend, Busy Brad Bizjack. Isn't that cute? Busy Brad Bizjack, who is a 5-star diamond in his first center, 1-star diamond in his second center, an SC10 All-Star legend, 46 months, which is awesome. He and I met when we were both selected to participate in the 21-day fix test group way back in 2013, I believe, the late 2013. We crushed it because we banded together to make sure we got amazing results, landing us both on the infomercial and on stage with Autumn for pretty much every stage workout that she's done since she became a celebrity trainer for Beachbody, which is super cool and a very big honor for both of us. But he's my friend, and he's the master of mindset. And so without further ado, oh wait, one more thing. He's getting married in 18 days. So we'll have to send him all the love and congratulations on his marriage to Janice in just 18 days. He's so in love with her, it's like silly stupid. But without further ado, I want to introduce Brad Bizjack to our team call.
What's going on, guys? How is everyone in Diesel Nation doing tonight? You guys are like a second family. I love you guys so much. And before I get rocking and rolling with things, first of all, Christina, thank you so much for the very sweet and amazing introduction. You're just an incredible person. And I think the rest of this team agrees that you and Becky are just fantastic people. And I don't think it'd be hard for any of us to say that our lives have not been impacted in such an amazing way because of you. Like, it's something you have done, you and Becky have done in our lives. It has changed it in such an amazing way. And so I think for a second, if you guys can all show Christina some crazy love in the chat box, her and her sister Becky, I'm not sure if Becky's on right now, but just both of these guys for being such incredible inspirations, incredible leaders, and just amazing people. I think we can all agree that they're someone that we strive to be like more and more every single day. And I just think it's something that we should all take a second to be grateful for. So also want to go and reiterate what Christina said about all the moms out there for Mother's Day. That's got to be I'll never know, but got to be one of the hardest jobs in the world. And seriously, props to you guys. And seriously, it's just so cool to see you guys working so hard on raising your family and so hard in your business and your jobs and doing everything at the same time to build this. So I have a question for you. By a show of hands, how many of you guys have ever pushed really, really hard for something and come up short? Anybody? Push really, really hard and come up short. Me too. And so our team missed Elite 2 years in a row. And I want to tell you all about this because we're going to talk about comparison. I remember saying to myself on January 1st of 2015, this is our year. We're going for it. And I thought that if our team hit Elite, I'd just be so incredibly happy. And I set that goal along with my success partners, and we pushed. And we fought with everything we possibly could. And December 31st, 2015 came around, and I woke up and we qualified for Premier that year. We missed Elite by less than 5 points. And it was like a bittersweet feeling, right? I was incredibly proud of my team, that I could represent them on stage, that we were a 2015 Premier team, but there was that little voice in my head that said, dude, you could have been more, right? You should have been more. You failed as a leader. You don't deserve it. And shit, guys, like it hurt. Like it hurt deeply to miss it by like, I had the rank, but the points weren't there. And it was like this weird mix of being devastated and proud at the same time. And that there was that voice in my head, you know, that it kind of beat me down a little bit. And it just kind of said like, you're not as good as the other people. I saw all my other friends, my friend Dana, my friend Colleen, so many of these amazingly just positive, inspirational people that I work with every single day go and hit elites and do these amazing things. Even people that I personally mentored hit elite. And my self-confidence went downhill. And I remember at Summit that next year, you know, seeing them up on stage, you know, and saying to myself, why aren't I as good of a leader as them? And so that next year, 2016 came around, and I went after it again. Got the team on board, claimed it at the beginning of the year, and went for it, and fought with everything I possibly could. And being totally honest with you guys, really just went for it, but woke up on December 31st, 2016 as a 2-star diamond coach with 90 elite points. I went down. And so not only had I missed the rank, but I missed the points too. And there goes my friends crushing this elite ranking again. There goes Colleen crushing it again. There goes all my other friends crushing it again. And there goes that same little voice in my head saying, dude, why aren't you good enough? Like, why aren't you a good enough leader? Why have they been able to do this and you haven't? You're not as good as them. Only this time there was something a little bit different. I had grown, I had matured, and I just dove into personal development so hard. And guys, I'm getting some feedback noise in the microphone. I'm not sure who's got their line unmuted. But I just dove so far into personal development, and I knew that voice. And so the thing that I'm trying to kind of get across here is, how many of you guys have ever gone for that goal to come up short and you feel destroyed or worthless or hopeless or bummed out or pissed off or some negative emotion towards that goal, something about your self-worth not being good enough because you didn't hit that? Anyone ever felt that before in some way? Or how many of you guys have ever been working really, really hard at something and then someone new joins the business and they just start crushing it right away, and you're sitting there like, why the hell are they better than me? This isn't fair. Or how many of you guys have ever been part of a push group and you'll see all these other coaches coming in, they're having all this success and you're working so incredibly hard and it feels like they're just getting it and you're missing something, right? Like you go to this push to diamond group or this, you know, push to a 2-star group or whatever it is, and people are crushing and you just feel like you're missing something. Have you ever been in that situation before? Anyone in this call ever felt like that? Me too. Me too. And let me tell you something. All of that leads to comparison. All of that will throw you off course, and I know this because I did it for 2 years straight. All of it can take the fun out of what we do, and it makes you start going through the motions and stop serving other people with your heart. That's what it's going to do. All of them hurt though, right? It hurts emotionally to miss a goal. Like deeply, it hurts to feel like you're in second place or to not feel good enough, and it feels like it just kind of sucks to feel like you feel more talented in some way. And seeing all your friends hit these goals, but you feel like you weren't good enough. And I felt that more often than I can even begin to express in this call. And it hurts, right? But the reality is, guys, and this is what I want you to take away from this, is it doesn't matter if it hurts. Because guess what, guys? This is something that, write this one down. Pain in life is guaranteed. And I can promise you it's coming in some way. There's going to be stuff that happens that hurts, right? But suffering from that pain is completely optional. Suffering from that pain is completely optional and it's completely up to you. It's your choice. So you can look at it as one of two ways. You could say they're better. You could say you're not good enough. You could say that you're a bad coach. You could say you're a bad leader. You could say you don't deserve it. Or you can celebrate their success and choose to make it mean that this is possible. You can choose to make it mean, okay, that clearly means that I can do this too in some way. But sitting there and comparing yourself to other people is the thief of joy in this business. I guarantee you that it will burn you out. It happened to me, right? Because all you're going to do is stare at them continuing to do all the stuff that you're supposed to be doing, right? All the vital behaviors. And you're going to feel like you're spending so much time on your business and you're not going to see the results for it. And you're going to get burnt out because it feels like you're spending a lot of time, but all you're doing is watching someone else. And you're not going to have fun. And all those people who you want to follow you and to be inspired by you, they can't really connect with you anymore, right? Because they're not going to feel your energy. They're not going to feel that you're for real. They're going to tell that your heart isn't totally invested in serving them. And because of that, they're not going to reach out or even be receptive to you reaching out to them. And so what it means is we control what we put out there. And if we're comparing ourselves to other people, if we're focusing on what other coaches are doing, it means that we're intentionally saying, I'm going to tone down my energy because I believe I'm not good enough, right? And you're being okay that no one's inspired by you. That's what comparing does. It's an act of violence on yourself that you literally chose to make. Those people that are watching you, those people that are following you, or the people that are in, they're not going to be inspired. And the people that are coaching alongside of you that you're staring at the entire time, you have to understand they have a completely different market. They have a completely different past. They have a completely different history. They have a different mindset that they're in right now. They are not you. So don't focus on them and run your own race. You guys want to see, I pulled this up before the call. You guys want to see what comparing does? This is what comparison does. Like, look at that picture right now and just take it home for a second. Like, really internalize that. That is what comparison does to you, right? Like, it's toxic to you. So why is Michael Phelps the best, right? Because he focuses on where he is going, right? What he wants, not the other swimmers. Like, if I were to spend my time looking at Christina Delgado, who I'm sure you guys know, right, is a rock star. If I were to spend my time staring at, like, what is she doing? Why is she so much better, right? And I also see that I didn't hit elite. Like, how motivated do you think I'd be? I'd be dogging it, right? But I'm not looking at Christina in that way. I'm not looking at these other successful coaches in that way. I'm looking at all the people that I can inspire, right? I'm looking at all the people whose lives I can change, right? I'm looking at bringing her home from her full-time job. I'm looking at changing someone's life. Comparison is the thief of joy, guys. It's the thief of joy, and it takes the fun out of what we do. It takes your eyes completely off of where you're going, and it focuses on the car that's driving next to you. And what happens when you do that? What happens when you take your eyes off the road when you're going 80 miles an hour down an expressway the entire time you're driving? You crash and burn, right? So watch your road and don't take your eyes off of it. And I know that helps, but there are times where we get in those slumps, right? Like times where you don't know how to control your mindset, times when you kind of feel weak and hopeless, and times where you know exactly what you need to do, but there's that little lack of drive inside of you. It's almost like you're trying to force a fire to start in the middle of a hurricane, right? It's like you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing, but no matter how hard you push, it just feels like there's no energy to give. How many of you guys have ever been in a situation where you see your computer staring at you, knowing exactly what you need to do, but there's that episode of TV on, or there's those other distractions going on, even though you know exactly what you need to do? I've been there. Like, you feel like you're trying to force yourself to work this business. You feel like you're trying to just light a fire under your ass when it's raining, right? I've been in that place, and that's where stuff like these calls or personal growth or investing in seminars or getting to that entre leadership or going to summit or going to leadership for Beachbody, that's where it comes in. Because you know what, guys? If you learn how to correct your thinking when you're down, and that's a skill, it's going to be a much shorter period of time before you get back up and you have that fire lit again. You're talking to someone who was the king of comparison, who was basically just a victim for a couple of years. And I thought I deserved so much success. You heard Christina talk about our 21-day fixed test group. And I thought that because I was in that group, I deserved a lot of success, right? I thought because people knew my name and I was friends with a celebrity trainer that things would just happen. And then they didn't. And my business crashed and burned. So what is that for you? What are you expecting out of this that you're not getting? And why? Is it your ego talking, or is it your heart talking? Right? Like, I'm talking, I was in a place of 2.5 years of selfish, negative self-talk, right? I would find myself in these groups of amazingly successful people, and I compared myself to them. And when your business is in the dumps and you're doing that, and you're standing next to all these successful people who don't think that way, you start comparing. And you go into those slumps. And guys, I thought about quitting coaching. I actually thought about quitting coaching for a while. It was on my mind, and all those thoughts about, like, I'm not good enough, or they have it easier, or why does this always happen to me? All those thoughts went through my head like this uncontrollable river that I couldn't stop. And this happened almost weekly. You know that feeling where you're doing really well and you go from point A to point B and you're killing it, and then you go from point B to point C, and you get there, and then when you get there, there's all of a sudden this big, massive wall of self-sabotage that takes over your life and sends you right back to square one. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, if you get to Diamond, lose rank, go back to the beginning, or you get to Success Club, and then you have a return order, and then you get to Success Club, and then you have a return order, where it is, right? Where you go A to B, B to C, self-sabotage, back to A, right? Well, guys, I had to learn how to adjust my thinking so I could break through C and get to D. I had to learn how to adjust my thinking so I could get out of those slumps faster. I had to learn to love myself for who I was, not based on a goal, right? And I worked so incredibly hard on my mindset. I focused so hard on personal growth, and something interesting started to happen. And this is where you're going to start to get these nuggets coming out of this call, is like those periods of stress and overwhelm and anxiety that I faced weekly or more than weekly. They started to happen once every 2 weeks, and then they started to happen once a month, and then it was once every 2 months, and then it was once every 6 months. And now they still happen from time to time, but now I know how to change my thinking, and now it's natural for me to be happy. Those are the cobwebs of your business. If you're in a negative mindset right now, you're going to have to go through some shit to get to where you want to be. Those are the cobwebs of your business that you're going to have to break through if you want your why to come true, right? So how you think when you're down determines how long it's going to be before you get back up. So people ask me nowadays, like actually get asked this question, dude, you seem like you're really happy all the time. Like, is that bullshit or is that real? And I'm not perfect, right? There are times when that it gets me and I sit and watch TV and I feel bad for myself for a little while, but I've trained and rewired my mind to respond differently to those situations. So it happens much less frequently. And so I want to tell you some of the things that I do to train my mind that way. So every morning I do an exercise called priming. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it. If you guys are Tony Robbins fans, I am a huge Tony Robbins guy. I do an exercise called priming. If you go to tonyrobbins.com/momentum, at the bottom of the screen, there's a 14-minute audio file on there. You guys can listen to it every day. I do it every day. And if you don't have 10, 15 minutes for yourself, you don't have a life. You have that time, right? And what it does is it makes you focus on things that you're actually grateful for. Like if you guys want to cure comparison, if you want to cure pain, if you want to cure depression, if you want to cure anxiety, if you want to actually be happy most of the time, get grateful. It is impossible to feel pain when you're grateful. And I respect that when you're in states of mind and you're already in the dumps, it's very hard to feel grateful. But this exercise forces you to go there. And I don't mean like writing a gratitude journal and just be grateful for the roof over your head. That's not what I mean. So think about this for a second. Let's actually do this. I want you to think right now of the worst memory of your entire life. It's positive talk, right? Think of the worst memory of your entire life for a second. Okay, picture it right now. And what did you feel in that situation? And now I want you guys to close your eyes. Close your eyes, everyone. Close your eyes. And I want you to remember a memory in your life that you can feel deeply, truly grateful for. See some people starting to smile. What's a memory in your life that you can just feel so grateful for? Keep your eyes closed. Was it when you had kids? Was it when you got married? What was it for you? What was that memory that you can just feel so grateful for? And I want you to breathe the same way you breathed in that situation. And I want you to feel the same emotions run through you right now that you felt in that exact moment.
His computer froze. Is everyone still in that gratitude moment? Hold it. Hold it. Hold that moment. He's coming back. That was pretty funny. I was like, I had my eyes closed and I had one eye open. I'm like, where's Brad? Where's Brad on that one? He's coming back. I hope you guys know where he's going with this, right? How you get in state. Is he back? Brad, are you back? No, somebody's unmuted. He's coming. He sent me a text. He's like, damn it, my computer froze. What a moment, huh? Hold on. Someone's phone is unmuted, though. If we can figure out who that is and mute it. Everyone. Rolly, I think it's you. I just heard your voice. Okay, Brad. Now it's time to come back on. Hello? There. Are you there?
I'm here. My computer just totally froze.
What a moment for the free. It was like so dramatic.
Yeah, it was like perfect timing, computer. All right, where did I lose you guys?
We were in a state of gratitude.
Okay, so did you guys actually get to the point where you like felt what you felt in that moment when you were truly, truly grateful?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so we can just kind of pick up from there. Sorry about that, guys. That never happens. But so the point I'm trying to make with that is, did you think about the horrible negative experience you were in when you were in that state of gratitude? Do you actually think about that? No one did, right? Like, think about that for a second. It's impossible to feel pain when you're grateful. It's literally impossible to do that. So I always give this example. But if you're in a situation where your spouse is, when you're running out the door and you don't get to give your spouse a kiss goodbye, and you're late and there's traffic on the expressway and you're on your way to work, your boss makes you stay late, and and also, I think someone's unmuted, guys. Sorry. And like you're on the way to work and your boss makes you stay late because you get there late and the traffic's all backed up, and you get home and you don't get to give your kids a kiss goodnight, and you're all bummed out because you got to get up early the next day and do it again. How is your day going to go? Right? Like, that's a pretty bad day. Would you guys agree that's a bad day for them? Right? Like, if you think about that, someone's having a bad day over there. If you think about that, like, most people would say that's a pretty bad day. But would your entire day change if you altered your perspective a little bit and instead you focused on, you know what? Wow. Like, I'm just so grateful that I even have a job, that I have the ability to put food on the table, to earn an income, that I live in the United States where if I'm in the bottom 1% of this country, I'm in the top 1% of the world. Like, think about that for a second. I'm grateful that I have running water, that I'm able to be married to this amazing person or have these kids, right? Like, that make me laugh and smile all the time. Like, would your day go differently if you focus on how you were grateful for everything every morning before you started your day, if you primed your mind, right? Like, and think about that real state of gratitude you were in a second ago. Imagine going into that every single day. How would your day change, right? Like, if you prime your mind, how would your happiness change? And you won't notice these changes happen overnight, right? Where you're in that happy state all the time. But if you consistently focus on being grateful, your brain is going to start to rewire itself. Your view of life literally will determine your entire future, right? So every day, condition your mind to focus on being grateful, and slowly that anxiety or that overwhelm, that depression, that fear, whatever you're facing, you're slowly not going to notice it as much. And it's going to be replaced with passion and excitement every single day because you're focused on where you're going instead of what's wrong, right? Like, you might be someone who seems anxious all the time, right? You might be someone who says they're a depressed person, right? And you might be saying, Brad, you don't understand. And you know what? I don't understand that, right? I haven't felt real depression for a long time, and I respect you very much if you feel it. But why give up your power? Why go and say and label yourself that you're depressed, and that's your excuse for why you can't feel happy? I call bullshit. I call complete and total bullshit. If there is even a chance that this whole gratitude thing works, wouldn't it be worth practicing every single day? Right, guys? If you're stressed out, like, it's literally just a code word for fear. It comes from associating the meaning that something's more important than it really is. Like overwhelm, it's just fear. So if it's that you're expecting perfection in an imperfect world. I learned from Tony Robbins, perfection is the lowest possible standard you could have because it's literally impossible, right? So get rid of that standard for yourself. Quit trying to be perfect. Quit focusing on those stresses because it's just fear that things aren't going to be okay. And we all know it always ends up being okay. So train your mind the same way you train your body. Condition your mind to work this way. That guy that's talking to you right now through the screen, he had a victim complex most of his life. And I'm not the same person I was a couple of years ago. I've trained my mind and literally like just rewired the way that I think. And now it's natural for me to be happy. So the quality of your life is always in direct proportion to the quality of your emotions on a second-to-second basis. And in any moment in time, write this one down, in any moment in time, you can be upset about anything because what's wrong is always available to you. But so is what's right. You know what I mean? Like you can always choose to focus on what's wrong or you can choose to focus on what's right. And if you're a Tony Robbins fan, you'll know where that came from, right? Everyone has problems. Everyone, right? The only people that don't have problems in their life are in cemeteries. They're dead. If you don't have problems, you don't have a life. They're literally just the resistance that you choose to push against to sculpt the character of who you are. That's what a problem is, right? So take this and make the primary emotions of your life the ones you actually want because you literally control it. And when you view, Sylvia, choose happiness. Like when you view your life as amazing, it doesn't just affect you, it affects everyone around you and people give it back. People want to be around you. People want to be part of what you have going on. Look at Christina Delgado, right? When someone views their life as amazing, people want to be around that. And guess what they do? They give it back, don't they? Right? So we've talked about comparison. I talked about true gratitude. Do that Tony Robbins exercise and rewiring your mind. And that's great. And remember, it's still a process. And so let's say you've started to laser focus on this, but there's still that part of your mind that plays tricks on you, right? And that happens when you become so attached to a goal coming true, to diamond coming true, to emerald coming true, to 2-star coming true, to success club, to retiring from your job, so attached to it that your self-worth is attached to a goal. Where this is an absolute must or I am a horrible person, where this is an absolute must or I'm a bad leader or I'm not a good coach if I don't achieve this. Like if you've ever felt that way about a goal, and I think a lot of us have, how many of you have ever felt that way about a goal, right? When you feel that way about a goal, it literally pushes success away from you, right? You're resisting everything when you feel that way. So I found myself pushing so hard for these goals to come true. So incredibly hard. And no matter how hard I pushed for Elite, for Success Club, it just seemed further and further away. I'd hit Success Club 10, but I felt like nothing was happening, right? Like how many of you guys have ever had that mindset of like that this absolutely must work or I'm totally screwed or I'm a bad person if it doesn't work? Like when you think that way and you come up short, which will happen when you set goals, when you think, my dog's going nuts in the background. When you think that way and you come up short, which will happen, like, how do you feel when you miss a goal, right? Like, how do you feel when you miss a goal? You feel pretty shitty, right? You feel like your self-worth took a hit. And let me guess, it goes from A to B, B to C, self-sabotage, right back to A, right? You guys, just from the beginning of the call, story of my past. That's what I did for a very long time. And the reason that that's happening is because you're skipping the entire first part of success. I learned this the hard way. You're refusing to accept what's already happened. We refuse acceptance a lot of times when we push for these big goals. And when you accept things that have happened in the past, you will feel so much more free. So I want to do an exercise with you guys. Take out a sheet of paper, and I want you guys to draw it, to hold it horizontal. I want you guys to draw 2 big circles that look like this. 2 big circles next to each other on a horizontal sheet of paper. Okay? Let me know when you got your circles drawn. Stick with me on this. If you guys can really, don't do it if you're driving a car, but if you guys can stick with me on this and write it down, it will really help. So above the left circle, write the words, my story about what happened. My story about what happened. And above the right circle, label that one the fact. So above the left, my story about what happened. Above the right, the fact. So let's talk about, we'll just use Success Club. That's what we'll use first, right? So how many of you guys have ever missed Success Club in your business? Anyone? Anyone miss Success Club in their business? Okay, good amount of hands here. Or missed a rank. Whatever it is, you can do anything for this exercise, but pick your goal that you've gone for and missed, right? And you come up short in Success Club, and there's these stories playing around your head. And I want you guys to write all of these in the left circle. When you take out your sheet of paper, in the left circle under your story about what happened, we write these, we come up with these stories in our mind about why a goal didn't happen, right? So I'm going to rapid fire through them, but write as many as you can down in the time that I go through this. So I didn't have time to hit Success Club. I didn't know if I could do it. I need this to work, and if I don't, I'm totally screwed. Or I always face a situation where people say no, or every time I try it doesn't work, or I don't know if I can do it, or I need to do it, or I'm a bad coach if it doesn't happen, or why are they able to do it and I'm not? And write down any other reasons, any other things you can think of about why you missed a goal in that left box right now. Write it all out. What else did you think to yourself about why you missed that goal? What emotions did you feel? What reasons did you have? What excuses did you make? Whatever it is, write all of those stories in that box or in that circle on the left side. We'll give it like 15 seconds here. I'm going to get a sip of wine. Couple more seconds, guys. So all those things I listed off, I'm sure we've experienced similar feelings in some way, shape, or form when we've gone for a goal, right? Raise your hand if you felt similar feelings in some way when you go for a goal and you miss it, right? So if you do that and you take a look at your circle, and that's a story, what you're going through in your mind over and over and over again. If you look at that circle, isn't it incredibly overwhelming and intense and stressful when you're trying to solve all that shit, right? Like, can I swear on this call? I've been swearing a lot. Okay, cool. Doesn't it just want to make you go into shutdown mode, right? Like you look at all these things, you're going like, how do I even solve all this? And it makes you go into a negative state of mind, right? Like not your happy place, right? I agree, right? Like that's because it's all part of this BS story you're telling yourself and making up in your head about what happened. But when you think about the idea of missing Success Club, what is the only actual true thing, the only fact of the entire situation? I didn't hit Success Club. Write that in the right box, because that is the only thing that's true in that situation. Literally the only thing that's true. That's the only fact. And which one, the left circle or the right circle, do you know how to solve instantly? The right circle, right? Invite more people. Cool, solve your problem. There you go, right? The second one, you know the solution. So what happened, happened. You missed Success Club, not all the other stories that play in your head. What didn't happen, except the fact that you missed Success Club, you missed Diamond, you dropped rank, whatever it is. Say it out loud. I lost my rank. Say it out loud. I missed Success Club. Say it out loud. I missed 2-star. Whatever it is you guys missed, say it out loud and just accept the fact that the past is the past and that's the only fact. Because what's going to help you move forward? Focusing on all the stories or focusing on the fact? The fact, right? So now flip that sheet over. And I'm going to give you the exercise that changed my entire life. And I mean happiness, like genuine happiness. And draw 2 more circles, same style. 2 more circles on another sheet of paper. And above the left circle, label it as the word attachment. Okay, the left circle is labeled attachment. And you don't have to repeat this or write this, but that's kind of the feeling of your self-worth being attached to a goal, right? Like this must, or I'm a bad coach. Like I need this to work or I'm so screwed, right? Like attachment above the left circle. And above the right circle, I want you to write commitment. I want you to write the word commitment. So when you're in this state of this absolutely must happen, I'm so screwed if it doesn't, this needs to happen right now. And you're going through it, you'll notice how this lines up with all your stories, right? And you're saying all these stories to yourself about why it's so hard to hit this goal and why you didn't. And you're just attached to this coming true so much that you feel like a worse off person because you missed a goal. What emotions do you feel regularly? Well, like think about what do you feel on a day-to-day basis when you live that way? And I'm going to rapid fire through them, but I want you guys to write these. Let me pull up my list. I want you guys to write these in the left circle because this is what we feel on a regular basis when we're in that state of mind. Stress, anxiety, guilt, fear, sadness, shame, struggle, should have, unhappy, trapped, faithless, victim, passionless, forcing, mad, angry, depressed, scarcity, doubtful, questioning, ungrateful, and comparison. And list any other emotions that you feel when you're being an ass to yourself in that way. List out any other emotions that you feel on a day-to-day basis when you're so attached to a goal that your happiness and your self-worth is attached to it. Write down any other emotions that you feel right now in that left box, left circle? Sorry about my dog. He's going crazy. So what if you let it go? And Christina, is it cool if I go all the way until 10? Okay, cool. What if you let it go? Like, what if you just chill and you be okay with who you are as a man or a woman either way? Like, what if you just chill out? What if you become committed to achieving a goal, but not have your entire self-worth as a person being dependent upon that goal? What if you were committed to hitting diamond? What if you were committed to Success Club? What if you were fully committed to hitting elite? And what if every single day you did it because you love the process of doing it and the person you're becoming, instead of your self-worth being attached to the outcome of a goal? What if that's how you lived your life? Like, what if you were committed instead of attached? Like, think about it. When you think about just focusing on the fact and just focusing on, I am okay with me, I love me either way, I'm going to be happy either way, and I'm committed to achieving elite, to achieving 2-star, whatever it is. What type of emotions do you think you're going to feel on a day-to-day basis if you are falling in love with the process of who you're becoming every single day? And I'm going to rapid fire through them, but write these down in the right box right now. Passion, energy, enthusiasm, happiness, drive, health, growth, vitality, progress, unstoppable, the feeling of I can, right? Possibility, feeling alive, belief, excitement, abundance, smiling for the first time in a long time. Smiling is good, right? Let's try that, right? Freedom, forgiveness, capable, trust, greatness, resourceful, and pumped up. Those are the ones that I wrote down before the call. So let me ask you this. Think about it. Which of those 2 circles are you more likely to solve a problem from? Obviously the right side. Which of those 2 circles are you more likely to come with some damn good social media content from? Probably the right side. Which 2 circles do you think you're going to be better at inviting from? Probably the right side. So which of those 2 circles are you more likely to focus on the fact instead of the story from? The right side. Think about that. So when you're in attachments, when you're in this state of attachment to a goal, think about this. A result isn't present yet, and you are completely dependent upon that result to be happy. With me, it was elite. I missed elite. I didn't hit it, so I wasn't happy, right? When you're in a state of attachment, a result isn't, and this isn't a code for, hey, go less hard on your goals. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying your self-worth isn't dependent on a goal. So when you're in attachment, a result isn't present yet, and you're dependent upon that result to be happy. But when you're in commitment, you literally get a result every day because you're focused on the person you're becoming, right? Think about that for a second. You get a result every single day. All of a sudden, if someone says, no, isn't that interesting? Not, I'm a bad coach. All of a sudden, if you miss a rank, you say, well, how can I grow from this? What can I learn? Instead of, I'm a bad coach, right? And remember that feeling that you had of trying so hard to force yourself to do this, but you just feel like you don't have the energy or the want or the desire. Like you're starting to, I remember starting that fire in the middle of a hurricane, right? Like that goes away instantly and you become on fire, and it becomes easy to hit Success Club, easy to make sacrifices, easy to find a way. When you're in attachment, you're literally constricting energy from other people. You're taking it away. And I bet you know if you're doing it. If you're that energy vampire in the room, I bet you know if that's you, right? Make a decision to change. Because when you're in commitment, you literally are generating energy. And you make other people feel amazing every single day. And this is kind of the biggest point of the whole thing. When you're in attachment, your happiness is at the effect of life. Think about that. Your happiness is at the effect of life. But when you're in commitment, your happiness causes life. So be committed to a goal, not attached. And all of a sudden, it's a lot more fun to set goals. It's a lot more fun to be a coach. It's a lot more fun to do the things that you need to do to sacrifice to make this happen, right? It's a lot easier to work this business because every single day you love the process of the man or woman you're becoming, not dependent upon a goal. So we got to get rid of that voice. And I know with everyone, including me, there's those negative beliefs, right, that we have for ourselves. And if you're like me, and this is just kind of how I've been wired, then when I tell myself that things are great, or tell myself that I'm a great leader, or tell myself that I deserve this, there's that little voice in my mind that laughs at me and says, you know what? Yeah, right, buddy. Like, you're still worthless. You can't do that. I grew up with a lot of negativity, guys, a lot of negativity. And I've had to beat this negativity. It's been so hard. The hardest thing in my entire life is reversing the mindset that was instilled in me as a kid. And I'm still dealing with that when I try to use affirmations, right? And say to myself, I'm a great leader. I still struggle with that little voice in my head saying, no, you're not. And so I want you to raise your hand here, and I'll show you how I've been kind of beating this. I want you to raise your hand here if you've ever had thoughts like this, and just hold your hand up if you felt this way. I'm going to go through a few of them. Why don't I have enough money? Ever felt that way? Or why am I so lonely? Or why don't people like me? Or why do I always screw it up? Or why am I so fat? Or why is it so hard to lose weight? Or why do I never catch a break? Or why is it so easy for other people but not for me? Or why can't I do anything right? Why am I so unhappy? How many of you guys are assholes to yourself like that? Be honest. Like, how many of you guys are actual assholes to yourself like that? How many of you guys talk to yourselves like that? And how many of you guys will listen to personal development audios, right? You'll read books, you'll flood your mind with amazing things, but when it comes time to telling yourself that you're amazing, there's still that little voice in your mind that says, yeah, right, dude, right? No matter how much someone tells you that you can have success with this, there's that little voice that says, no, you can't. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? One thing I've learned with my life is that it's a direct reflection of my thoughts. And when you set goals, you're trying to create a new reality as opposed to a current reality. That's what goal setting is, right? You're literally just trying to create a new reality as opposed to your current reality. And there's that big gap in the middle from A to B, right? And I've learned from a man by the name of Noah St. John, read the book Affirmations by Noah St. John, that gap is called belief in yourself, right? And until you actually believe you can do something, it's going to be very hard for you to create that new reality. And the reason is because most of us don't, and this is just, I'm just going to say this, I'm going to call it, most of us actually don't believe we can achieve the goals that we set, right? How many of you guys have gone through a goal setting workshop and you've thought of all the amazing things that you want, and then there's still that little voice that says, no, not going to happen, right? Even if you're trying to force your mind to believe it, right? So this is just how my brain works. Your brain might work differently. But when you ask yourself a question, your brain automatically searches for the answer, right? Just like Google, it spits out all the reasons why you're so bad at things, right? Like, think about this. Like, what if you reversed it? So instead of telling yourself that you always are going to hit Success Club, or telling yourself, I'm a diamond coach, or telling yourself, I'm an amazing leader, knowing you have that little voice, what if you ask it different questions? Your brain is going to look for the answer to what you ask it 100% of the time, right? Like subconsciously or consciously, right? So you might as well ask it an intelligent question, like ask and you shall receive, right? Well, lately we've been asking for really bad results. Like, let's use this one. Why is it so hard for me to lose weight? Like, if you've said that to yourself, why is it so hard to lose weight? Or why is it so hard to hold my rank? What does your brain do? Like, ask yourself that question right now. Just say in your mind, why is it so hard to hold rank? Ask yourself that right now in your head. What does your brain do? It spits out all the reasons why it's so hard to hold rank. And that's what you focus on. And what you focus on tends to become reality, right? It tends to become your reality. And then guess what happens? A to B, B to C, self-sabotage, you find yourself right back at A. Why is it so hard to hit diamond? What's your brain doing? It's finding all the reasons why it's so hard to find 8 people to join your business. And so you don't do it, right? No matter how many amazing people you could talk to, you find a way to procrastinate. You find a way to avoid that phone call. You find a way to get in your own business, in the way of your business hours. You find a way to self-sabotage. So you're literally getting what you're asking for 100% of the time because you're asking bad questions, right? So let me ask you this. What would happen if you say to yourself, why is it so easy to hit elite? Why is it so easy to hit diamond? Why is it so easy to hit Success Club? Right? Imagine if you filled your mind with that every single day, right? Like, think about that for a second. What would happen if you ask yourself that every day? You might not know the answer to the question. You don't need to. But if you live in a positive question, your life can change. Because guess what's going to happen? You're going to be more likely to find the answer, right? Because you're not focused on bad things. You're going to be more likely to live in a state of commitment. You're going to be more likely to be grateful because you're focused on what you want instead of what you don't want. So for your life and your business, after this call is your homework, write down all the negative crap that you ask yourself all the time. And you know what the questions are because you feel it inside of you, right? Why am I so broke? Why is this business not growing? Why am I stuck? And guys, this is much easier to teach than it is to do. Trust me, I still struggle with this, okay? But I've worked so hard on it that I now feel like I can present it to you and share this because it started to change my life in a lot of ways. So write down all the negative questions that you ask yourself. And then I want you to flip it on its head and turn it into an empowering question for your future, right? So instead of why am I so broke, why am I so wealthy? Instead of why is my business not growing, why is my business booming? Instead of why am I stuck, why is it so easy to hit Success Club, right? Your brain is looking for the answers to what you ask it 100% of the time. So you might as well be smart and ask it the right stuff that's going to lead to a better life. So let's close things up. And I want to be totally honest with you because I faced each of these three situations. When you're faced with hard times in your business and your life, you're going to be challenged, right? You're going to be challenged in a really tough way. And it can either defeat you or make you stronger. And so I've decided that you have three options when you face that in your business. One, you can quit. You can quit. You can, like Christina's got the cancellation form. I've sent out the cancellation form before. You can give up. You can say no. You can eliminate yourself from this positive community of growth, and you can just keep on living your life, and you can live the same life every single day, which is fine if that's what you want, right? Option two, you can stay in the same spot, which is what I did for 2.5 years. You can stay in the exact same spot. You can find yourself afraid. You can find yourself comparing. You can find yourself with the same struggles every single day. You can find yourself ungrateful. You can find yourself attached. You can stay in the same spot. That's option two. Or option three, you can grow. You can grow. You can become a stronger person. You can be the person that lifts up other people. You can find yourself going for something big in this again, right? You can do something about your future. You can be grateful. You can run your own race. You can be committed, not attached. And you can ask yourself some pretty cool questions, right? But the reality is, guys, there's never going to be a right time to go all out with option three. There's never going to be a great time for it. There's never going to be a great time to change the course of your life. Something else is going to come up. So if you're sitting there deciding whether to go all in at this or not, go all in. Because it's never going to change. You're always going to be busy. There's always going to be things in your life that happen that get in the way. Life is going to be trying to get in the way, and I can guarantee you that fears are going to come in the way, and you're going to have to beat them. But there's never going to be a right time, but that time that you spend waiting for the right time, that you could be growing and contributing and serving other people in such a positive way is going to pass anyways. Guys, we have the gift of financial freedom and health. We can give that to other people. So ask yourself this: when is now a good time for that? Right? Because we have the most amazing opportunity standing in our living room right now, just waiting for us. I want you guys to fall in love with the process, to fall in love with what you do every day. And it starts up here, right? The tasks to do this are easy, right? It's 5% of everything are the tasks. You know what they are. It's all up here. This business isn't convenient, so you're going to have to be strong up here. It's adding something onto your life in the beginning so you can take something off your life later on. Right? There's something in your gut that's telling you there's something real here. And you're going to get faced with those situations that we talked about in the call. It's going to happen. And you can either face them or grow your mindset, or you can stay in the same spot, or you can quit. I hope you face them, because that's what I did. 2.5 years, and I stayed resilient with it. And I'm the happiest I've ever been in my entire freaking life. And so come back to this call and remember this stuff, because that opportunity that's sitting in your living room right now is waiting for you. The most amazing business that I've ever found. Tell me if you find a better one, right? There's not one, right? This business solves everything that people need in their life. And you don't have to have the same standards as another coach. We're not comparing, but you have to stand for something. You have to create a standard of excellence for yourself. You are not minimum people, or you would not be on this call. Like, Christina wouldn't have said yes to you joining Diesel Nation if you were a minimum person that didn't want more out of life. You're not that person. So give yourself more than the minimum here. Give your family more than the minimum. Give yourself the future that you actually want out of this. Make the time that you spend on this worth it for you and your family, and it's your turn to make it happen. You got to do this stuff when no one's watching. Face whatever fears you have in your business, and don't just face them, kick them in the freaking throat, because your family, your kids, your future deserve it. And so draw a line in the sand, right? Like, just because you signed up to be a Beachbody coach does not mean you started. I started as a Beachbody coach in October of 2016. That was my real start date. What's your start date going to be? Right? Draw a line in the sand and make a decision. Not a decision where you're going to sign up until it gets hard. A real decision that you're going to go all in. Keep it simple. Focus on the simple things. Invite, expand your network, grow on social media, run great challenge groups, invite people to pay this forward. The vital process. And when you do that, instead of what most people do, which is shrink down their dreams to match what society tells them they should do, you can build something truly amazing here that's going to give your family an amazing future, and you're going to be able to serve so many other people by giving them the gift of financial freedom and health in their life. And so I hope you guys find this valuable. Take it and apply it, and I promise you, not only will your business change, but you'll be happy on a day-to-day basis, and that's what life's really about. So Christina, I will turn it back to you, my friend. I love you very much. I'm happy to go through questions or something if you guys have them.
I seriously don't want to mess this call up by talking. Brad, that was incredible. I think many, many, many aha moments were had on this call. You are an absolute gem. You're a gift. And the words that they kept popping into my head over and over and over again while you were speaking was that you have just you've learned how to elevate your thinking. That's it. Like, really, you have an elevated level of thinking that when you are able to achieve that, you guys that are listening to this call that have really zeroed in on the exercises that Brad took you through, and you get to the spot that Brad is in mentally, the sky's the limit for you in this business. And I could sit here and I could say that I too have that level of thinking, but you guys don't care to hear what I have to say anymore. And I get that, right? Because you can't preach to your own choir. Like, the choir's like, la, 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 I don't want to hear you anymore. Let me hear it from someone else. I hope that you guys now, after listening to the amazing story of overcoming and triumph and getting past perceived failures in your business, that Brad just shared with you, realize that when we say personal development is critical in this business, that you don't take that for granted, that you don't brush it off, that you don't say that's hogwash or that's lip service. You have to understand that it is a vital behavior because it is vital to your success as a coach. Because everything that Brad said, you guys, about comparison, about setting goals and missing them and how you feel about that, it doesn't matter if you are a brand new coach or you are someone like me that has been in this business for now almost 7 years, who still has to battle thoughts of comparison and not being good enough and not achieving things as fast as other people. And even with the, achieving certain levels of monetary success, saying, well, why does he have more? Why does she have more? And what's wrong with me? And why can't I do that? That doesn't go away. What goes away is the time it takes to rebound from those thoughts because of personal development. That I could sit on a thread with Melanie Mitro, Bonnie Engel, Alyssa Schumacher, Miguel Carrasco, and whoever else is on that thread, listening to them saying they've recruited 15, 20 coaches a month and not let it affect me personally. That's the level of thinking that everybody has to have in order to continue moving forward in a way that is fulfilling to you, right? Blinders on. Blinders on. It is your race, not mine, not anybody else's. And imagine if you take your thinking to the level that Brad shared with you today, and that energy, not the energy of I suck, I can't, I didn't do this, I failed at that. Imagine if your energy shifts to the abundant mentality, the gratitude mentality that Brad took you to tonight, and that energy permeates into your team. What's going to happen, right? Think about the positive effect, the shift that that'll have in your business. Could you even see that happening? Yes? Yeah. That's the whole point. If you guys on this call could get this information, process it, and then implement it, not feel nice and good tonight and say, oh my God, I feel so good, I got the butterflies, cried a little, feel so good, and then turn around and do nothing about it, then nobody benefits. It doesn't serve anyone. You have to take the information, process it, and implement tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow, whenever. Just implement it and pass that energy down into your team, because that's when the magic starts to happen. If you're a brand new coach, I think this call was a gift to you, because now you understand there are valleys in this business. There are, just like any business, just like life, just like parenting. I don't know why some people think that this business, all of a sudden you become a coach and like there's no problems in the world. There are problems in the world. You will face problems in your business. It is how the time frame in which you rebound from those struggles, those challenges, that makes the difference ultimately. Brad talked to you today about a 2-year rebound period. And now we're giving you the tools to shorten that to minutes, to an hour tops. But you got to keep moving forward. If you stay paralyzed for too long, it'll cause you to quit. And that's the last thing you want to do, because like we preach over and over and over again, if this business is the solution, we need to stop treating it like the option, right? It is the solution to everything that we want: health, fitness, community, travel, financial freedom, everything. Why do we treat it like an option? So with that said, shall we go and start processing and utilizing this information? I think so. You guys, Brad, I have to just circle back and say thank you. That was an incredible call. I can't wait to post a replay to that. I am so blessed to be your friend. I am so excited to see you walk down the aisle. How exciting. But you guys go below. I posted already on Brad's wall. So go blow up his wall on my post. Make sure you follow him. He's a true inspiration. And you guys take this information, turn it into energy, turn it into momentum, and let's go help some people. Let's get our challenge groups filled with awesome challengers who then are going to convert to coaches and pay it forward. So you guys, I love you. Brad, any last words before I...
Just thank you so much for your leadership and just the inspiration that you bring in. Guys, like, take what Christina said to heart. She's an amazing leader. She is where she is for a reason, and just run with this. Don't make yourself a promise right now. Make a memory right now. Never frickin' give up at this. No matter how low it seems, you never stop, because this business means so much to so many people that you don't even know yet. Yes. You can change their entire world.
Amen, brother. Amen, Busy Brad, Bizjack. All right, guys, on that note, we'll see you later. Have a great night. Love you, Diesel Nation. Let's go rock some lives. Bye.